exams. Document too.
I think that there's a lot of misinformation. I also this licensure thing. I have it because some of us, you know, teacher, Jumana, you did once. Now, say about a crime you were on. I was a fast man, professional. Now, yeah, you professional. You say, try and who fight that process. Not a hard thing. Around 2017, and by at 7 you pass year, we needed to set up or convert the then teacher education units, Evan Bayer National Teaching Council. And one of their mandates was to register and license teachers. So in 2017, before that, there has been some pilots a year on my year. And he said, I professionalizing the teaching Jumana, and this is a global standard. Most of most places are in the global. They do this kind of licensing of the profession. Into teachers, Ghana, so through the action, they decided that we also want to do something like that. Now, at that time, what we had to do was there are two groups of people. The one who was teaching that. So we had here from 1980 to 2017. And we are saying now over catching and say over the licensure regime, you know, over and let's say. So those people who were already in the teaching field, you know, were registered and our licensing one. Then what they were supposed to do is say, after 2 years or 3 years, they need to renew their license. And that is what bears this what CPD, would also say forecast and say the point, you call CPD, you call PLC. That is what bears it because one the point to a certain level, not a 2 years or 3 years in this one, ultimately they renew license. And it is because the teaching profession is a knowledge profession. A knowledge profession, it means that you need to always update yourself. There are so many different things that are happening always in that field. It is a one you continuously and go undergo CPD and engage in professional learning communities and other things now. You will not be able to address yourself with the challenging dynamics of the time. And I know there are challenges with all these things, but then we needed to do it. So those in the profession were not asked to write any exam. They were just registered because they were already in the system. And now you want another group of school. Now, in this country, you will say teaching professional will be at any time, will be at any time. But one of the things that you do for a profession is to control the entry into the profession. How do you get people to enter the profession? You get people enter the profession by setting a certain benchmarks. You can be able to meet. So what did NCC do? NCC said, okay, the first stage in licensing will be a Free College of Education. Mind you, these are not teachers. They are being trained to be teachers, but they are not teachers. They need to be licensed and registered so that they can now be called teachers. So, Free College, the first stage is say, some sort of exams. This is where the challenge is. People think, say, a duplication of efforts. No, the NCC has a mandate. Almost 30 teaching standards, you know. The various colleges and faculties of education, they also have a mandate. Only the teacher. How do I verify? Say, I didn't know mandate in our faculties in any colleges. No me council and me regulatory teaching professional. Meeting the standards. I have to take them through a certain process. And that is what they decided. Okay, before you come into the profession, the first stage is to let you sit and write some exams. I must admit, the exams are also going through so many modifications. If you follow the end and say, exams, some starting normal trauma, some English, normal trauma, and all those things. Now they write a general paper, which includes some of these things. And when somebody argues, say, we'll be French, so it doesn't matter. I get disappointed because if you are French, you know, and so we have a bit in the Qualani scores. If you are English, let's we have a bit in the Abuan Qualano. Basic things I said in Qualani. And that is why you are tested through the general analysis, you know. You are tested through pedagogy. You are not tested through your subject material. That is the modification I also exams. You know. Now that is the first step. When you finish that, then you move into the second step. You have a 1-year probation period. So that probation period is where you are given a mentor, and you are supposed to be mentored and monitored for that 1 year. When you write the exams at the same, you know, the moment, what you be at the end, I shall say, a temporary certificate. It is not a permanent license. I mean, it's a temporary license. For you to undergo a 1-year probation where you undergo mentorship processes.
Wow.
I know NTC, I want model mentorship a year.
Doc, after going through the academics 4 years, doing your teaching practice, writing the exams, you still go through a 1-year probation.
That is what I'm saying. Say you need to separate the mandate of NTC from the colleges of education and the faculties.
Okay.
The faculties mandate to become teachers. That is their mandate.
All right.
So for them to do your 4 years Bachelor of Education program, as part of your 4 years Bachelor of Education program, and we teaching practice, and we on campus, we off campus. We are setting exams, passing. That is their mandate. NTC has also a mandate to register and license you. And they are saying, that process of registering you to become a professional teacher, this is what you do. So you do your first exams now. They give you a temporary license. That temporary license needs to now be metamorphosed into a permanent license. How would they give you a permanent license? They say go through a 1-year probation period. And none of those licenses are what we are. But I say the people will say teachers also require national service. You see, there's so many misinformation in the system. The teachers for the require national service. No, it was just a 1-year probation period. You go to the classroom, you have a mentor that has been assigned to you, and then the mentor guides you through the whole process, because you are now going to be given a permanent license. After the 1 year, you are inducted into the teaching profession. So there are 3 things in the licensure regime for pre-service teachers. You write the first exams. After that, you do a mentorship period, which is for the probation, and then you do induction. After you are inducted, you are now given a permanent license. Then you now have to do your CPD, and then your engage in PLC and other things. That you can now that will enable you to renew your license after 2 years. If people who impart knowledge are fighting this, then I don't know what again that we should do in order to ensure, we get the teacher always on his toes to be able to help us, help our children get the kind of education that they want. Yes, I know. People are saying, there are things that the teachers need. Teachers will always need things. But one of the things which we cannot deny is the professionalization of the profession one, and this process ensure quality of the teacher that is teaching our children. You cannot sit down and say, if you know, yes, we'll buy in this 4 years. Practicing law, baby. Say what's up for yes, some 6 months. Oh, Mokola, actually, answer that too into the law profession. But when it comes to those who impart the knowledge, the people in the field are fighting this. What is happening?
So, where do you think the challenge is coming from?
The challenge is coming from the fact, and this I've said several, that it's because of the lag in time after the exams. So what we have said, we say, look, what you can do is to let the students write the exams a week after they have finished their university or whatever papers that they are writing.
Okay. Don't
let them go and sit in the hours and then let them write after a week or within the period almost say we are 1 week or more campus now. Let them write these exams and then you are good to go. But for you to say the university that is training them, certificates, should also conduct the professional exams. It means that you don't understand the mandate of the universities, the faculties of education, and the mandate of NTC. It cannot work that way.
So it's about understanding the points from NTC and then the colleges of education. And after the teacher profession and Kasano, when you the understand, we feel that the process is cumbersome. That is why we are facing this.
Exactly. I think so. You see, in Kuala what colleges, university now. I change teachers all these years. So I know the almost person who better exams. In fact, in 2018, when this thing happened, but before 2017, as an own starting, they took the NCC to court. So almost person better exams, and that is what most people fed into it. And and they say and almost 30 schedule. Mr. Bissau, one extra professional exams or Ghana has a year free. Now NSS is kind of a problem. I then a young country advisor all absorb it, absorb WAEC, absorb BC. So if it is about the money, why is it that the proposal is not to tell government say you absorb the money that they used to pay for their exams so that they will write the exams? But if you say you are going to absorb, they will still disagree because in Kuala is some of the floor exams, and it's because in identity say you see when you are within the college system, there are so many factors that come into play that when it comes to these exams and others. But when you are doing when an external body is examining you, other factors also come into play, and most of them have not been able to go through the process successfully. And because of that, they will continue to fight this. And that is why some of us will think, say, this kind of education, especially when it's coming from people who have taught, who have been on the field. If you say you have been teaching since 1980, things are changing. The kind of things AI is being used